Hey guys, Chris again from ClassicVWBugs.com, and in this tip I want to talk to you about undercoating. When to undercoat, why should you undercoat, or why shouldn't you undercoat? And I'm going to talk to you about it on this 64 bug I have over here, and give you some inside tips on when and why you should use it. Okay, let's go. Okay, so for the most part, I am a fan of undercoating to an extent. There's a lot of cars I'll go visit that I'm looking to purchase, and the car is caked with undercoating on the undercarriage, under the wheel wells and things like that. And if you see it really caked on and packed up, and you start poking around and it's soft through that undercoating, that means they're pretty much probably hiding something, and instead of repairing the metal or whatnot, they just actually covered the hell out of it with undercoating. But where I like to put my undercoating, well, for the starters, even on my show cars, I like to put my undercoating on my fenders, under my fenders rather. And the reason why I like to do that is if you have a good rubberized undercoating, say from 3M or Permatex or whatnot, or anything you can get from AutoZone or any local auto parts stores, putting an undercoating underneath the fenders will protect it from, let's see if I can find it here. There's a little star on this paint right about here. I don't know if you can see that. There's a nice star right there. It's right there. It's pretty small. Nothing crazy. Okay. The reason why I got that is because I didn't have undercoating under these fenders. And when a rock flies up as you're driving and hits underneath the fender, you run the risk of starring the paint. So if you have a good rubberized undercoating under there, you basically can protect your fenders from starring or chipping. And that's basically where I usually put my undercoating. I really don't put them anywhere else. Like you can see here under these wheel wells, let's see, got my light here if you can see. I put them under the fenders there. It's not a heavy coat. I could probably use another coat. Usually for the most part, you might have to reapply in some areas, but I leave the wheel wells clean of it and such because I like that to look clean. My painter that I'm using, he likes to use chip guard, which is a material that they use on a lot of new cars today under fender wells and wheel wells. And the chip guard gets nice and hard, and you can actually paint on top of it. And it's got a rough textured surface, but it still looks good and is appealing to the eye. It's really not, doesn't really deter you, I think. So I like that stuff, and it looks clean. And they've been using those on some of my wheel wells on my newly painted cars. And it also acts as a really good sound deadener as well. Now this is my undercarriage on my 64 bug, and as you can see here, it's pretty shiny. Reason why it's shiny is because I use POR-15 rust preventative paint on my inside and on the outside of my floor pans. Why I like to do this? Well, number one, I think it just looks awesome. It's so clean, and when people look underneath, they see how clean it is, and if you want your bug to look this clean, definitely go with POR. You do have to scratch the surface down to get it clean. You don't want any other debris on there. POR adheres great to rust, so if you have a lightly rusted surface area, basically adheres best to that. If you painting POR on top of other paint, it's probably not going to adhere as well. And great thing about POR is that, like, once you drive it and you see a little bit, if it's dirty a little bit, you could basically wipe it down and it'll come off the dirt. This stuff is also scratch resistant. So pretty much if you put POR on your pans, the car will most likely outlast you. POR does recommend on their website to put a top coat on top of their paint. You would not put the layer down first and put on POR. Like I said before, POR goes down on a clean metal surface, and then on top of that you could then spray undercoating, or like a truck bed liner, or like I said, the chip guard for added protection, sound deadening and whatnot. I personally I'm fine with the POR. If you want, depending on your preference, you can spray it, and you'll be fine with that. But like I said, in some areas, a lot of times these guys who are undercoating, they're undercoating the hell out of the undercarriage of their pans, and that's one thing to look out for when you're buying a bug. Just another added tip there is that if it's really caked on material, if you can't even see these bolts sometimes it's so caked on, or even under here under the heater channels and things like that. You won't even see the ribs sometimes. I've seen so much undercoating sprayed on, you don't even see this definition in the pan. I mean, just really be careful there, because that means it's pretty much they're hiding something. So, like I said, when I do my under my fenders and whatnot, I just put like a light coat in there under here. I don't know if you can really see that, but just kind of put a nice coat in there. I mean, if you want, you could put like 4 or 5, how many coats you want to add, but you know, for the most part, that's where I put my undercoating, is under my fenders. So and then that's basically it. If anybody has any questions, you can email me at chris@classicvwbugs.com, or my website, www.classicvwbugs.com.